Hi, boys and girls. This is Ms. Kathy. I'm so happy you've joined me today for another story just for you. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Philippians 4:6.
Trust and a New Trombone by Iijima. I can't tell you how excited I was when I started learning how to play the old trombone that had once belonged to Dad. I was in 5th grade and practiced every night. The fact that the case was old and the tone of the horn wasn't very good didn't bother me at first, but as time passed, I began to feel embarrassed about the old trombone. And as my playing got better, I realized I needed a better instrument to reach the high notes. Mrs. Guthrie, our band teacher, agreed with me. I began to dream. Then I found out that a better instrument would cost at least $400. How could I come up with that much money? My weekly allowance for taking care of Fleur and Esmeralda, our milk goats, wouldn't begin to add up to that much money if I saved every cent for years. Furthermore, every time I spoke to my parents about another trombone, my brother Tim said he needed a saxophone and a guitar. I knew my sister's piano lessons were already a strain on the family budget. So I began to pray for a new trombone. And I continued to worry. What if God didn't think I needed a better horn? Did he want me to be satisfied with what I had? A year and a half went by. I had only $40 saved up. The next fall, I would have to have a better trombone. I'd be in junior high school and would need to reach the higher notes. But I didn't see how I could come up with $360 more. When Mom came down to my basement bedroom to say goodnight, we talked about it. I think the Lord wants you to trust Him about the money, she said. That made sense, so we prayed together. The next day I decided what to do with my $40. I sent $15 to India for flood relief and gave $15 toward our church building fund. With the last $10, I decided to buy some chickens. Maybe I could raise chickens and earn money for a trombone that way. At least I felt a lot better. That day a woman called Mom about some chickens she had to sell. I bought 5 at $2 each. I hoped they'd sit on some eggs and hatch enough chicks for me to sell. But would you believe it? Those chickens refused to get the mothering urge. Then another friend gave me a hen that wanted to hatch chicks. But when the hen got to our house, she wouldn't sit on eggs either. My chicken raising idea was turning into a big failure, and there was still no trombone in sight. Keep praying, Stephen, Mom encouraged. Remember, my God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:19. I was beginning to wonder. It was already summer, and junior high loomed mighty close. Then one scorching July day, I opened the newspaper. There, right in the middle of a splash about the next day's sidewalk sale at a nearby mall, was this ad. Snappy's Music Shop. Going out of the rental business. All used band instruments half price. Buy one, get another for a penny. My mouth went dry. Mom, look! I yelled. Mom came running. When she saw the ad, she was just as excited. If they're used instruments and half price too, we should be able to afford one, she said. We'll get there as soon as the sale begins tomorrow. The next morning, we pulled in the parking lot at 10 a.m. sharp. Right away, I spotted the trombones on a table outside the store, 3 of them. Try them out, the salesman urged. When I picked up the Getson, I knew it was the trombone for me. It was a beauty. It played easier than the others, and what a tone! And yes, trembling as I was, I could even reach the high notes. I looked at Mother. She understood. We'll take it, she said. Choose another instrument for a penny, the man said, pointing to an assortment of clarinets, flutes, and trumpets. There were no saxophones, so Mom chose a trumpet. We can trade it in on a saxophone later, she told me. Tim won't need it till next year anyway. Carrying the trombone to the car, I knew for sure that God did care about things such as trombones. He had supplied my horn, and he had even cared enough to make it a beauty. And do you know what? I sold those chickens and a couple more that had finally hatched for $20. That was a 100% profit. So now you know why my shiny Getson trombone still reminds me that God hears our prayers. Sometimes we have to wait a while, but when the timing and our motives are right, we can depend on Him to answer.
The story you have heard today is from God's Greatest Stories, written by various authors and compiled by Randy Fischel, and used with permission from the Pacific Press Publishing Association. If you're interested in any other books published by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, please visit AdventistBookCenter.com or call 1-800-765-6955.
This podcast is a production of the Carolina Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.